Hey, music lovers, welcome to Musical Miles Podcast. I'm your host, Byron Duffin, and I am here with the husband and wife team, Jake and Amanda Tillo,
Yes, sir.
from the band Madrona. And we're here in High C, Idaho. We just finished up last night with the South Fork Fest. What a cool event.
It's the best.
It's so cool.
Absolutely love it.
So were you here last year?
We've been here ever since the first year, actually.
Since they started it.
Which was 4 years ago.
Right.
So we did it up the road a ways as like a family picnic for the
Right.
first 2
Yeah.
years.
Right.
It was called Blue Roan, and it was basically friends and family picnic, but open to the public.
Okay.
And then it's just steadily kind
Grown.
of progressed and grown over the 4 years.
Well, I got to tell you, Coulter reached out to me, and I'm trying to remember how he found us, because we've only been doing this podcast for a year, but we haven't stopped since the day we started. We've just done, I think you guys are like 144th interview we've done in the last year, and we've posted 107 episodes on our podcast. So we've been busy. But he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, would you come do this?" I said, "Yeah." And then I said, wait a minute, let me look at my schedule, because our schedule's crazy. And I said, "Man, I have another commitment to be at Wheatstock in Helix, Oregon." And it's also one of my good friends is on the board of that event, and he's tried to get me to come for the last 3 or 4 years, and we've never made it. And I felt a little bit guilty, but so I went and sat down with Coulter and kind of did a little interview with him, and then we started to promote this a couple months ago. And I'm so glad I came here. And nothing against Helix, Oregon, and my buddy Pat Beard, but this is so cool and so family friendly.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. We got 2 little kids, so
Oh, do you?
it's awesome.
How old are your kids?
8 and 12.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well, when we got done after Friday night, our some of our kids live close by. 2 of our boys live in Ogden, Utah, but we've got grandkids. All our grandkids are kind of in the area, and so we got home yesterday morning I texted my oldest son and invited his girls to come out, because they live 20 minutes from here. I said they gave us this beautiful cabin to stay in, and it's got extra beds, and we could stack the grandkids in here and just have a great time. Not all music festivals are family friendly.
no,
Yes.
we don't go to many that aren't.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
right.
why I love it here.
Yeah.
They can just run around in a gaggle together, and they're forming their own little friendships. And
Yeah.
year after year, they come back and they see the same kids.
Yeah.
It's a safe environment. It's just beautiful, and half of the people here are family for
Sure.
real.
Sure. Well,
So,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
finding out the connections as we go, because and I didn't realize when I first got involved with Coulter that he was going to be on the bill too.
Yeah.
With what do they call it, McKinley Wilson, and so then when he asked me, like a week ago, he texted me, goes, "Hey, would you consider being the MC for like the last couple of hours?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I used to be a rodeo announcer. This stuff's easy for me, but anyway. But it was fun. I was glad to get involved and get to meet everybody, and we didn't get to interview as many as we had hoped, but nonetheless, I think you guys are probably like 8 or 9 or something. So that's a good
Awesome.
weekend for us.
Awesome. Yeah, and you got our friend Donnie and Brian and their project.
And do you know, I don't know if you know that story. Donnie's mom and her siblings lived downstairs from my older sister for years.
Oh, wow.
Well, not years, maybe a couple years in Idaho Falls. This has been years ago, and before Donnie was born, I think. But anyway, so I saw her on the bill, and I'm like, okay, her mom's name is Donella too. I don't know if you knew that, but we're like, and her and my sister are still really tight. And so I said, what are the odds? This has got to be related to Donella Gom. And so we got here, and she goes, Shanda was talking to her. She says, "So what's your maiden name?" And she said, "Gom." Plus, she went to school with our daughter in Shelley. So it is such a small. I tell people all the time, give me 5 minutes, we'll connect the dots.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 people away, maybe.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. Well, yeah, and in my world, it's because I grew up in the rodeo world, in the horse world, and so my Kevin Bacon, what is it? 6 degrees of separation. Mine's more like 2. So because I'm kind of, I don't know whether I'm weird or just very well rounded. So
Probably
I would
well-rounded.
I
Yeah.
would say the latter for sure.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just met you, but that's
But you seem
the
pretty
vibe you're
well-rounded.
giving.
Yeah.
well, I appreciate that. Well, let's talk about you guys because I have a tendency to wander off and
It's all right.
tell my story. So let's talk about your musical journey because you have 2 kids,
2 kids.
12, so you've been together for at least 12 years.
16 going on 17.
I think it's going on 16.
Going on 16.
Going on 16.
15
Yeah.
going on 16.
And did you guys where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Indiana.
Oh,
He
wow.
grew up right
grew up
here.
here.
You grew up right here.
Yeah,
And
my grandparents actually lived at High C, so I spent all my summers up
No
here
kid.
swimming,
Lucky
golfing,
kid.
running in the hills. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how'd you get from Indiana to High C?
So we both made our way to Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
We met in college. Yeah, I saw him in the back of one of our classes together, and for some reason I just heard a voice in my head that said, "You got to talk to that guy."
Oh, cool.
So I did, and we met. He brought his guitar on our first date. We went and climbed a tree on the top of Skinner's Butte and
We just started
played
singing
guitar
together.
and singing, and he said we should start a band together. And that's,
Well, you have beautiful harmonies. Your voices together are amazing.
Well, thank you.
So we enjoyed your show yesterday. So you ended up together 16 some years ago. That's awesome. And been singing ever since. So
Yeah.
what was did you have a musical background prior?
So my mom was an amazing singer. She passed away when I was a teenager. I have 2 sisters, and we used to always sing together, like in the car.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did civic theater. We sang at church. I was always a pretty shy about it, pretty nervous. So other than the singing with my sisters and my mom at church,
Sure.
maybe a couple like community things, that was pretty much where I was at with it until we met. And then, yeah.
So it's just kind of been wide open since then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you currently live in Helena?
We live in Elliston, Montana, which is like 200-person town outside of Helena,
Just
about
outside of
30
Helena.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
And but you're headed back to Idaho.
Yeah.
Headed
yeah.
back to your roots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just bought a house in Rigby and
Awesome.
gonna come down here by the end of the year.
The kids feeling good about that?
Love it. They got
Yeah.
all their auxiliary brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
you know, from
Yeah.
like a lot of the people that played last night were
Yeah.
really good friends with, and they got kids, and they're all
Oh,
just
yeah,
beautiful together. It's a
What I
wonderful
love
community.
about this community is that and of course we've lived in Shelley for 20 years, 21 years, but I didn't realize just how tight knit there are some of these little musical communities here, even here in Southeast side, because we look always. I mean, we've lived in Arizona and California and Hawaii, and we've always sought out live music. That's what our true love is. That's why when I found myself suddenly and unexpectedly retired, what are we going to do? Well, let's do a podcast about live music and share the artists that we meet with our followers and our friends, right? And we want to
Yeah.
hear the stories, how you got together, why you got together, and the music. You know, so I'm assuming you guys write a lot of original stuff.
That's basically all we do.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So,
Our
yeah.
set today was some newer originals. We were trying to mix it up, not play too many things from last year.
Yeah.
So a lot of newer songs.
Oh, I love that. And we love the songwriter aspect of things. We love songwriter rounds, and we're headed Tuesday to Vegas to a huge songwriter festival, 50 songwriters at the Mandalay Bay, and
Awesome.
350 number ones amongst them.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So we've really been lucky and met some really cool songwriters, and we've probably interviewed 25 songwriters with multiple number ones
That's awesome.
on the podcast. So it's just, and we, like I said, we've been doing it a year, and it's all happened organically. I mean, you know, I've set up interviews and made some calls, but then, you know, once they sit down with me, they go, well, he's not so bad. Maybe we could tell our friends to sit down with him too. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
well, we loved your music last night. It was just cool. And once again, this festival is just, all those little kids were out there dancing and running around. Were your kids here?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't ever see, well, I saw you dancing with your cousins with Buster's little boy.
Your
Yeah.
nephew,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Towns. Yeah.
Towns, and of course I'm a huge Towns Van Zandt fan, and of course Guy Clark, the old cool songwriters. Just
Oh yeah.
So there's 2 Towns kids at the festival.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Donnie's kids
Donnie's got
also
a
named
Towns
Towns
and a
and a Parson,
Parsons,
named after Towns Van
and
Zandt and
and
Graham
Graham
Parsons.
Parsons,
Yeah.
which are when I got to interview Donnie, and we talked about that naming the kids, and I said, yeah, what a gory story though, Graham Parsons' story. Here, let's just haul him out in the desert and set him on fire. That was that was an interesting story, but anyway, well, cool. So you won't be down here till the end of the year, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean we'll be back and forth, but
Yeah.
we'll be down here full time at the end of the year.
So do you do the music deal full time, or do you have a real time a part time
No.
job?
A
A full time job.
I own a construction company. She's a full-time therapist,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
we do this because we just really like writing music
Yeah.
together. So it's like one of our things. Like if we have a free moment at the house, even if it's 5 minutes, we'll pull a guitar out, sit down, write an idea, log it, and be like, let's go back to that later.
Sure.
And, so we kind of just
Do you play any instruments
Not well enough to play
publicly?
but yes, on my front porch around a fire,
Sure.
I play some guitar.
Do you? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I can relate, because I'm going to tell you what, that's not an easy thing to do. And once again, I could stand out here in front of 200,000 people and talk off that stage last night. Wouldn't bother me a minute. But hand me that guitar in front of 1 or 2 other people. I actually sat at the fire yesterday morning with the Sean's guys, with a couple of the guys, and plunked around a little bit, and I'm always nervous, and I was going to play a John Prine song, and I started on the wrong verse, and
Which
and I
one,
don't sing very
that
good.
happens. That happens.
which one were you going to play?
I remember everything.
I remember everything.
Do you remember that one? That was one of his at the tail end of his life. Yeah, it's pretty easy to play.
I don't know if I've ever
Yeah.
heard that song actually.
Yeah, I remember everything. Let's see. No, see, this is where I screwed up. I'll have to think about it now. But it starts out. I've been down this road before. I remember every tree, every single blade of grass holds a special memory. I've been down this road before. I remember every town, every hotel. Let's see. I remember every hotel room and every song I sang on this guitar out of tune. Anyway, it's a cool song.
I'll have to check that out.
And yeah, I figured that those were good ones for me to learn, because at the end of John's life, after he had throat cancer, his voice was not great. My voice is not great. So I thought, well, I can sing that almost as bad as John does. So, but what a cool guy, and what a great songwriter.
Yeah, great songwriter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Great songwriter.
And loved, one of my all-time favorite Guy Clark's is one that Guy never cut. Step Inside This House. Do you know that song?
No.
Lyle Lovett covers it.
No.
And it is just a cool song. And it's literally the first song Guy Clark ever wrote. And
That's cool.
And you need to listen to that one. Are you a Lyle fan?
I don't listen to a lot of music usually. I mean,
Well, you guys, you're working on your own music.
yeah, and when I do listen to music, I end up getting stuck in these loops where like I'll find a band that like
We'll listen to everything.
everything they've ever made, and then I
Yeah.
just listen to it for 6 or 8 months. So like the last band I did that with super heavily was Dr. Dog.
Okay.
I work and I put headphones in while I'm building houses, and I just kind of
See, and I can't do that. I can't. I mean, because we interview so many different artists, we try and listen to music and be prepared when we sit down with them. So I had listened to some of Sean's, and I had listened to some of the Swinging Lights, and a few others. But these smaller festivals, if not everybody has music on Spotify, or there isn't. It's not always available. But nonetheless, so I try and listen, and then we just move on, because, like I said, we're headed we'll all the way to Vegas next week. We will, for the day, we'll probably listen to 20 or 30 of those songwriters. And because some of them are artists, like Jared Neiman's playing, is going to be there. Lee Bryce is going to be there. Of course, Dean Dillon, who who wrote 11 number ones for George Strait and 40 top 40s for George.
Wow.
Oh, he's one of the. He'll
Just
go down in history.
prolific.
Oh my gosh, he'll go down in history as one of the greatest songwriters, country songwriters in my generation, without a doubt. He's 70 years old, and they've done they did a documentary about him
That's gonna be
already.
fun for you guys.
Oh yeah. We're now no guarantees we get to interview all those guys, but out of 50 we're hoping to get 15 or 20 interviews, and we're gonna get some good ones.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, they're all good. They all end up good, every one of them. I've only had a couple that were maybe
Went
a little
off the rails.
No, nothing ever went off the rails. Yeah, just a little disappointing. But anyway, my producer, I want to tell stories, and she's like, "Don't you tell that story."
I'm curious. I was like, what makes an interview good as opposed to an interview that kind of.
I think sometimes having to really get
Yeah.
people to answer questions, right, and to engage.
Mm-hmm.
But that early on, we interviewed Ned Ledoux, Chris Ledoux's son. What a great story, and and they wanted to do it. He was playing in Pocatello, and every one of our interviews has been in person, and they wanted to do it over Zoom, and I said no. I said, listen, I'm nobody, but if I can't do it in person, I just don't want to do it. And his manager, Mark Seisel, is like, okay, we'll give you 30 minutes. And so they were kind of, begrudgingly, they were willing to do it, but I felt a little. And so we sat down, and of course, Ned, a lot of artists, I think even you're a little bit reserved, a little bit, right? I mean,
you called it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I could tell it on stage. I mean, you when you're singing, everything's great, and then when it stops, you get really quiet and back away. I observed, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I was,
Yeah.
I tried to get her for this. I was like, I'm gonna have to do some tuning in between, and we've been having some issues with this pedal, so I might not be able to talk much. I was like, you need to be the talker this one, and she was like, please don't make me talk.
Well, this one over here behind the cameras, listen, we've been married 43 years, and we have a great relationship, and she's sweet as she can be, and she can talk with the best of them. She's hung out with me enough that she can talk, but she does not like to be in front of the camera. And our kids are like, Dad, Mom needs to be more involved. And I'm like, I wish I could get her to be more involved, because she's way prettier than I am.
Well, they all are.
They all are,
We're
right?
We're apes, dude.
Yeah,
hairy
we are
apes.
hairy apes.
It's all good.
So, but that, being able. But you're very engaging, so I appreciate that. Some are just, but for the most part,
blood out of a turnip a little bit.
I think, not to pat myself on my back, but I think I can communicate with anybody. I can talk to anybody. So to get people to engage is not really, really hard for me.
He's
never met a stranger ever.
Yeah,
that's
good.
this guy.
Yeah.
That's
well,
good.
right.
He makes best friends wherever he goes.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
people.
So do I. But at times, you go to these festivals and these events. This was perfect, because perfect size. Even the Braun Brothers reunion is a good size, about 3,000. That's still a lot. But we get home after some of these events, and we just go. On the way home, Shanda's like, it's good not to have to listen to anything. We just turn the radio off and we don't even
Drive
talk
in
to each other.
silence with the AC.
She goes, isn't this nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
But we love people, and we love what we do, and we love the opportunity to meet new people, make new friends, and listen to new music, because that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is about that.
So cool. Well, will you do me a favor? Will you play me a song?
Yeah.
And you feel like singing?
Oh, yeah.
It's early.
Yeah,
I know it's early.
we'll get it.
I know you will. But yeah, that little Teton guitar, we got to keep getting those autographs on those. So.
Okay,
Let's
what
see.
song?
What song do you want to do? You want to just do
Old Friends?
That's what I was thinking. 'cause
Oh,
it's
you guys
tuned
played it
there.
last night?
we
Yeah,
played
I
it
like
last
Yeah.
that.
night. It's a new song we just finished.
I like it.
So
Left my heart heart in Oregon and I traveled someplace new. Had a dream of mountain living, river running through. Found myself a stranger, I was no more than just a child. They say you can't make old friends, oh it always takes a while to make old friends, old friends, old friends. There's a piece of me in the willow tree and on a ranch in Idaho. There's a piece I left unwillingly when I watched my brother go. There's a piece hidden in a locket, it'll go to my daughters when I die. There's a piece that I gave to the ones who came before me. God, they tried. They tried, tried. I haven't seen you in a long time, but your spirit is the same. That old fire burning in your eyes, still alive through all the change. When all my dust is settled, I hope I leave some good behind, flowing in the mountain stream and shining in your eyes. I thought we'd have forever, but oh my God, how it passes by. I hope I have some good friends waiting on the other side. Old friends, old friends, old friends.
Thank you so much. That is a beautiful song. I loved it
Thank
last
you.
night, and I love that. Yeah, I hope there's some old friends waiting on the other side. It's a great line.
It's all you can hope for.
Well,
right?
I've always said this to Shanda and to our kids, and it's kind of my beliefs is that we don't get out of this world with anything other than our family and our friends,
Yep.
right?
Yep, I agree with
If
that.
we're lucky.
Yeah,
If we're lucky. So,
yeah.
guys, thank you again. This has been a lot of fun. We look forward to spending some more time. Where can we find your music?
So we have an EP on Spotify right now that we recorded actually at Brian and Donnie's house
Okay, right,
last
right.
year with a bunch of the musicians from.
Yeah, Brian's playing guitar on that one.
Brian plays electric on that.
Our
and
friend Nate's playing
played
on that
bass.
Okay.
So we did kind of like a splattering. It's like a real. We picked 4 utterly different songs because we kind of write a wide variety of
Sure.
music.
Sure.
And so that's like one place you can find the full band stuff.
And it's under Madrona.
Madrona,
Yeah.
and I think you search for Make It Out would be the EP because we found out that we never copyrighted or did whatever, trademarked the name Madrona. So there's multiple Madronas. So you search Make It Out, you can find that little 4-song EP.
Okay.
And then you can go to blueroanartists.com.
Okay.
And there's actually
links
a lot
there.
of the artists from around here. We're part of like a music collective. And
Right.
they're doing, you know, different recordings and videos. So you can go through and scroll through the thing. And we have a couple live videos there, and then we also have a live video on YouTube of one of the songs we played last night with the full band from last year's festival
Okay.
called All Has Been Forgiven. And if you search that on YouTube, you can find a live video of us playing with the full band here at
Perfect.
South Fork Fest last year.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, we'll share all those links. We'll try and look them up and share them when we post this episode. If you go in the show notes, we tell a little story about you, what we know, what we can find online, right? And then you know, kind of how we ended up meeting and how this happened. And then here's your links to your music and more links to us. And so, but anyway, thank
Awesome.
you again. This has
Thank
been
you
a lot
very
of fun.
much. This has been fun.
We appreciate the everybody's artistry and the live music is just the best. So
Yeah, it really is.
so cool.
Well, thanks for coming and supporting.
Well, you're so very welcome. So I am here with Jake and Amanda from Madrona. All right, we'll see you somewhere down the road. Adios for now.